wondering, why another introduction video? Well, the truth is that right now, where I am at YouTube, I can only post 15 minutes, and my introduction video went over 15 minutes, and I feel like I need to add 1,000 introductions and 1,000 disclaimers. And I rewatched my introduction video, and I feel like it's pretty good, but I still want to put in the other 4 minutes of footage, or 4 or 5 minutes of footage that was there. So I decided to do 2 introduction videos. It is what it is. I can maybe combine them one day. But yeah, I have 2 introduction videos, and so that is why I do have a couple more disclaimers that I want to put in before I begin to release my story, my testimony. But for now, here comes Corny Misty with her introduction.
It's my story, and I'll tell it if I want to. Tell it if I want to.
Tell it if I want to.
Tell it if I want to. Yeah, you won't stop me from telling my story. It's my story. So, yeah, my story. And I think that it's time that my story comes out, don't you? I do.
So here it is, my story. So, yeah. This is my testimony. My testimony is my story. And ever since I was a little girl, I felt like that one little snippet of a Bible verse it's been getting to me. Okay. Whenever I was a little girl, I first started reading through the Bible at the age of 7 years old. And at that age, I wanted to read it front to back, and I did. And it took me it took a while. So I was around 8, 9 whenever I finally was finishing the book, and that they overcame by their testimony. It sent shivers down my spine. And later on, I was like, well, I finished it. Might as well go again. Start over. I always had my Bible with me. And at the age of 11, I was finishing again. And I had an even more deeper understanding of they overcome with their testimony. At this point, I had seen testimonies given at church, and it had an impact on me. And every time that there was a testimony given, I could hear they overcome by their testimony, and I would have the impact, and I would see, oh, this is them overcoming. And I would have this great feeling of awesomeness with it. And every time I read Revelations, I didn't read Revelations and think that this is, God wiling out and going crazy. I'm like, it's Judgment Day, and if you want to be judged good, be good. If you want to be judged bad, be bad. To me, it was a blessing. Reading Revelations was a blessing to me. It kind of gave me a roadmap, and it helped me to understand what I need to be focused on, because I need to be focused on making sure to be the best me that I can be, so that when Judgment Day comes, it's not so bad. And I did fail. I failed a lot, and you'll see that in my story. And there were many times, throughout my story, throughout my life, that I was in and out of church. You'll see that in my story. But I always held the Bible close to my heart. Not always. There was a time that I did not. So you'll see that in my story. Yeah, many years I saw people giving their testimonies. I saw people on the street giving their testimonies. I saw different types of testimonies be given, and every single time it would come into my mind, they overcome by their testimony. They overcome by their testimony. And I just had this deep knowing in my heart that one day I would overcome with my testimony. I didn't know what that meant. And I did at one point stand up in church, and I gave, my church testimony, how I came to Jesus and everything. And it felt like I was overcoming. And then, but that day I went home, and it was like, that's not it. Close, but that's not it. There's still something more. And I've always felt like there's something more to this. They overcome with their testimony and what I'm supposed to do. And as I've always been really close to Revelations. It's always been really close to my heart. since I was a small child, and I knew that I was going to live through it. I knew that I was going to live through it in some form or fashion. I would be living through it. And I do feel like that time is coming, and it's coming closer and closer. And I say that with a smile on my face because it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. If you know what you're doing, if you didn't look at it as God wilding out, you looked at it as, oh, God's preparing us, then you could have been prepared too. But you can still be prepared. God's saying it's not too late to prepare. In fact, that's why I'm giving my testimony now, because I feel like if I give it in 2 more years, if I still continue to wait it out, before now, there's been times where I felt like I've got to put my testimony on YouTube, like for some reason I got to, but every time I tried, I couldn't. It was like I was in my own way. A lot of times I was in my own way, but also the timing wasn't right yet. It still wasn't right yet. And for me, I'm like, woo, we are like right on it, aren't we? Like, I feel like I waited till the last minute, but I really do also feel like, my spiritual side feels like, no, this was how it was supposed to be. And so I really think that it's played out the way that it's supposed to be, and I'm happy for that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for putting up with that and watching that. Thank you so much. I do want to say that as I began to do this series, it's not easy for me. I am learning and growing a lot through it, so I am seeing that, like, I really do want to continue this, and I do want to put this out there. I really do. I've really prayed on it and thought on it a whole lot, and I am going to put this out there. I'm really sorry for the low video quality. I'm sorry for the low audio quality. I don't know. I can't really hear. I do have a booming voice, and I do want to start using that more. So that's a good thing. But at the beginning, I wasn't doing that great. I might redo a couple. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you love my story. I hope that you find something out of it. And I am so grateful for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. But it's my life and it's my story. And I am smiling a whole lot. I do kind of put on a smiley personality for the camera. And so I kind of put on, like, I'm smiling as I talk. And so sometimes I'm talking about harsh stuff and smiling. So, it is what it is. And like I said before, it's those are healed parts of my story. I'm also finding unhealed parts of my story, which is coming up for healing. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process, a beautiful thing. And I am so grateful that you're a part of this. I really am. Like, I know there's going to be watchers in the future, and I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for putting up with my corny, crazy little butt. So I hope that you enjoy, truly, and I hope that you find something of significance out of it. So without further ado, I will begin my story. I'm happy for that. And I love you all. Love and light.